girls' game.
Oh, in Parkersburg. Yeah. If I known it was in Parkersburg.
So on, I think somebody's turned them off.
Fire went out last night.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know what that was about either.
It was like the
Mom's
whole
was
county,
out, so
wasn't
it
it?
was
Yeah.
widespread.
There was 2 transformers got hit yesterday.
Actually,
And
turn that
there was a
off.
work outage someplace today.
Well, I've
supposedly.
got my executive content up
Colton
here.
was home
Forgot
by
about that.
himself because we were in
I
Morgantown.
thought it was blowing up my dryer and washer.
He's like, I'm fine.
Oh, wonderful. Now this can
And then the generator took forever to come on. I was like, oh God, what is that?
Okay, we good?
Yep.
All good, Dr. Ma-
Here.
Mr. Freshour,
Here.
Dr. Miller,
Here.
Mr. Chapman.
Here.
Dr. Manning.
Here.
Everybody's good if we'll stand for the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All righty, we have no delegations. We have nothing in reports, so that'll move us to the consent agenda, and we'll start with the minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of November 18th, 2024.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of November 18th, 2024. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All righty, on to the next set.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the special meeting of December 4th, 2024.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the special meeting of December 4th, 2024. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All righty. Ginger, you have the floor for bills for payment.
Pretty standard. I think we have gas bills back on there again, so I believe Dr. Manning mentioned to you how those got paid and why they were a little bit different, from the 2 schools. And then we also had one add-on because the high school secretary has been out and the P card purchases for the month have been missed. So you should have everything in front of you, but then should be a paper copy. That's $154. Oh, sorry. We have to keep that one up so that we can pay them. We have to make sure everybody gets those entered, and it just got messed with the regular bills and issues out, so that's all unusual.
Make a motion to approve the bills for payment.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the bills for payment as presented. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right, that'll take us to new business, and we'll start with approval to place the concussion policy on 30-day review. Dr. Manning.
Well, we've had the worksheet in the concussion policy, and with no changes requested by members during the review time, I recommend making a motion to place the concussion policy on a 30-day public review comment period.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to accept the superintendent's recommendation to place the concussion policy on a 30-day public review and comment period. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right, we'll go to painting at the Gilmer County Elementary School cafeteria. Dr. Manning.
This would be included in the executive content, and you could see the days broken down. And this would be by the same vendor that provided us a service on the stairwell. Our plan is to have a professional painter paint those 2 areas that are kind of difficult to do. And then the hallways and entryway and things like that, our handyman crew could save us some money using the same painting scheme. The professional painter did a very good job in the hall, in the stairwell, the very high stairwell. There's a lot of intricacies with the windows in the cafeteria, the duct work, and all of this different thing paint around. So we'd like to get the same type of professional job. There's also a lot of, if you've looked out there on the walls where they've moved the stuff around, there's a lot of drywall damage, and this person fixes drywall damage as well. So the recommendation is, I would like to seek a motion to approve the bid for the McLaughlin project for painting at Gilmer County Elementary at 6 days labor for a total of $5,760.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to accept the superintendent's recommendation from the McLaughlin project for painting at Gilmer County Elementary School with 6 days labor for a total of $5,760. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Only discussion I have is I've heard good comments about him, doing the stairwells and things. And I think, with the cafeteria, if we can get everything to match and be back to, one solid color, some of those paintings out there on the walls are nice, but I got to cover that over, in my opinion, and get it back to, where it's all one color and matches. That's, I think, looks better. So
Covered over.
that's what I think. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right, on to board resolution. Dr. Minnie.
This is a resolution that was provided to us that several counties are kind of becoming a part of. And it's urging the state of West Virginia to stabilize the public employee insurance, the PEIA. There is a proposal of up to a 40% increase in PEIA. And I would recommend having the discussion and reading this as a motion and approving this as a resolution for our board to support our employees.
So moved.
You want it read?
Well, it's going to have,
Oh,
we're
really?
going to have to,
Okay.
we're going to have to read it.
Whereas the Public Employees Insurance Agency, PEIA, provides vital health care benefits to public employees in West Virginia, including teachers, school staff, and administrators who serve in public schools throughout the state. And whereas a well-funded and sustainable PEIA is essential for attracting and retaining qualified educators and school personnel, ensuring that West Virginia's children receive the highest quality education possible. And whereas the recent financial instability of PEA has led to increasing costs for public employees, diminishing their take-home pay, and placing an undue burden on those who are critical to the functioning of our education system. And whereas the state of West Virginia has a responsibility to adequately support the public education system, which includes ensuring affordable and reliable health care benefits for all public school employees. And whereas the failure to stabilize PEIA threatens not only the well-being of public employees, but also the effectiveness and stability of public education in West Virginia. And whereas this County Board of Education believes it is in the best interest of our students, employees, and communities that the state government take immediate action to stabilize PEIA to prevent further cost increases and reductions in benefits. Now therefore be it resolved that the Gilmer County Board of Education hereby urges the West Virginia State Legislature and the governor to stabilize the Public Employees Insurance Agency, ensuring that the program remains sustainable, affordable, and equitable for all public employees. Be it further resolved that the Gilmer County Board of Education calls upon all other county boards of education, state agencies, and public entities to join in supporting this resolution and advocating for the stabilization of PEIA. Be it finally resolved that a copy of this resolution shall be sent to the Governor of West Virginia, the President of the West Virginia State Senate, the Speaker of the West Virginia House of Delegates, and local legislative representatives to emphasize the importance of immediate action to stabilize PEIA for West Virginia's public employees and educators. Adopted this 12th day of December 2024 by the Gilmer County Board of Education.
All righty, there is a motion on the floor to adopt the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. We adopt the resolution. Is there any further discussion? or amending to the resolution?
Would that be the 16th, because today's the 16th, or was it signed or review? Today's the 16th, you said the 12th. Just
Oh,
for
No,
the record.
yeah.
my fault.
Yep.
Yeah, you're good.
Be the 16th. So yeah, today's date of the board meeting.
Yep.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right. Now we're on to discussion or possible action of the Bolt presentation. Dr. Manning.
I'm going to have to get hyped up here because
Let's go. Let's do it.
time to get Tyson there flexing.
Tickets to the gun show, baby.
Okay. All right, the Bolt. Oh no, now it's going through a slideshow. I don't want a slideshow. Give me 1 second here. It should be in presentation mode here.
There you go.
All right, the Bolt Health and Wellness Center is a wellness initiative with lasting impacts. Power up the Bolt. That's kind of our slogan. We want to, you can see everybody has one of these little products that we've made that provides all the information about what we've done so far to get this initiative off the ground. So this is just an introduction. We plan to do this presentation with student athletes, myself, high school principals, coaches, so on. The Bolt Health and Fitness Center, a vital initiative that will provide students with state-of-the-art fitness facility to promote health, wellness, and athletic excellence. And you can see you have copies of all of this about what the building is, what it looks like, where it's going to be at. The Bolt Health and Wellness Center is a grassroots initiative aimed at providing Gilmer County students with a state-of-the-art fitness facility that will foster physical health, mental well-being, and overall personal growth. And again, we say power up the Bolt. We're going to try to raise funds for this, and we want to highlight this work to you all as the board, so you know that it's and we got your support before we move forward. So the need, our current facility utilizes the old special education classroom or music classroom down over the hill. It's not built for training. It didn't serve that purpose at all. About 12, 13 years ago, we moved it there. It's built in multiple sections, so it doesn't have one big open floor plan. It's kind of like this little classroom, this little room, a hallway, another little classroom, a bathroom facility. And it doesn't support our current student athletes for either a classroom or a place to work out. There's just very limited space. Even with as small a school as we are, we have more kids in there during a season than what we can support in there. So our goals are not only to enhance athletic performance, but to create a space that nurtures confidence, well-being, and a lifelong fitness habit. Our belief is that improving student physical health can lead to greater academic success, improved social emotional development, and a more positive school environment. This facility will impact our students greatly. It'll be open to all students, from athletes to those seeking to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Both can utilize. This will also provide our students with a healthy lifestyle that they can promote, improve classroom performance, improve competitive sports play, and enhance and a chance to move into college more prepared for the classroom and NCAA competition. Outcomes, we're hoping the outcomes of this, the facility will be open to all students. Those students will utilize this facility. Through the initiative, we hope to make a meaningful impact on their physical health, their mental wellness, and their personal development. We also think that this is a safe youth center that has a positive impact for future generations. Our kids don't have a lot of things for the youth to do in Gilmer County, and this would be one place, another safe spot that can be monitored, that would provide them an outlet to go and be physical, lift weights, work on personal development, those types of things. This is the actual space, and this was our mock-up that Williamson Shriver Architects put together for us with the building, what the space would look like, and a floor plan layout of the whole facility. It would be located in the lower parking lot at Gilmer County High School. The building would be 45 foot by 100 foot long, and it would be in the exact spot of the old facility. That old facility would have to be demolished, and we'd come back in and build this new facility right where that facility is at. We hope to build a block building that we can put machinery in that would help our students be physically fit, but also have one side open that we could have classrooms. We could take a PE class down there. We could do activities with the community. We've even talked about yoga, haven't we, Brett?
Oh, yeah, we've talked about everything.
So we've talked about a lot of different activities that could benefit the community and a safe space for our kids. This is kind of what the building would look like. This is the mock-up that was provided by the architects. This was what the inside would look like. The inside of the fitness center, there'd be 6 double-sided free weight stations. There'd also be a turf section for whole class and team activities. The Bolt would also feature some state-of-the-art workout equipment that is sports-specific to Gilmer County High School athletes. So you can see on this side, there's going to be 6 of these stations. They're double-sided, so 2 kids would be on each side as workout partners. And then behind that, there are other things and bicycles and different things there as well. And then on this side, there's an open space that we can have for people to stretch, warm up. They can do plyometrics and box jumps and things that would be sports-specific skills. And lots of mirrors. The floor layout, it would have 2 locker rooms, both male and female, with a mechanical closet in the middle to maintain the facility. There would be 2 bathrooms and 2 shower facilities that are located kind of behind the wall with stall doors. And then there would be some lockers and bench there to actually get changed and dressed and move into the weight facility for both male and females. You could see how it's, I don't know if you could see my point. Yeah, you can. You can see there's some treadmills and bicycles down on this side, rowing machines up top, and this big open space to have kind of whole group activity and instruction or classroom. I would think that we will utilize this as a classroom space too. So when we have a weightlifting class like we do this year, they could take the kids down there and lift. Our whole goal of this is to go out and try to seek donation. And so we're currently asking to seek donations, sponsorship, and in-kind contributions to fund the construction and operation of the Bolt Health and Fitness Center. And this is a statement to valued business partner in our community. We invite you to consider supporting this important project. The Bolt's funds will be raised in 2 different ways. There'll be larger business and corporate donations. We call those folks Titan sponsors. And then smaller individual donations, you can actually buy a cubic foot of the building for $10. And we're hoping that raising the funds this way, we will be able to come up with the funds to start construction on the building. We have several different phases that we're going to roll different initiatives out. Some of it's going to be social media. Some of it's going to be direct contact, face-to-face meetings. Some of it's going to be a direct mail to local businesses and things like that. We have levels of sponsorships that, we have a champion platinum Titan sponsor donation, a gold Titan sponsorship, a silver, and a bronze. And all of these folks will be All of these donations will be put on the wall to immortalize the business that supported in our local community. They also will have several other perks and provided different things for those businesses. There's going to be donor benefits, and I'm not going to read, there's a lot of reading through the benefits, but there's going to be different things that we provide to donors, ad space and things on our local broadcasting Huddle app that we broadcast our athletic events on. We're also going to provide some signage and different things on the outside of the buildings, and just to try to get our donors some benefits. But there are different sponsorship levels, like I'd said before. And then there's the patron sponsor. This is one of the activities that we plan to do with our local folks, which is to buy a cubic foot of the building. And those funds are raised locally by, coaches, staff, students. Hopefully we have this little flyer that I gave you set up by the ticket booth, so you can just click on the URL and donate. And we plan to have those sponsors listed in our advertising stream. These are our types of fundraising campaigns: direct business, direct mailing, door-to-door canvassing, social media campaigns, grant writing, community outreach, church and religious organization appeals, and yearly funding campaigns. This is our first little social media ad that we plan to run. We also plan to have these flyers put up so somebody walking by a gymnasium door can scan, and it works. I tried it today. It's available and it works. That will go to our online payment system set up through the school. We plan to make sure that we keep track of every single donor, so we have their name, because we'd like to put those donors' name up on the building facility itself somewhere. Lisa had a good idea. She said, "Well, if I had a kid, I'd buy the donation in my student's name, so the name would be up there forever." And I thought that was a really slick idea. So there's several ways that we plan to raise funds, but the main part is we need to get the buy-in from the whole board to make sure this is an initiative that we can all get behind and try to improve the health and fitness of our students, but also provide a safe space. We have, during the fall, sometimes there was 40 students, 50 students working out in there in the evening time.
How much to build the building?
That's a good question. We don't have the exact cost. Our estimated cost, it'll be somewhere between $500,000 and $750,000. If we go with the kind of the construction costs that we're using on building the facility out here, adding the extra space, because it's not a whole lot bigger than the storage facility, but it is bigger. So it is quite a bit of funds to raise. How we plan to raise those, how we plan to donate, we're going to try to simplify it to either make a check available, and Ginger's going to handle that. It's all going to go through the district, or you can pay via the QR code, which is the same. And you would just click on that QR code and it takes you to the payment center, and you could provide a $100 donation to us.
I was just
So questions?
pondering.
We don't mind if you put an extra zero on your $100.
I was
Maybe two.
I was just pondering. Of course, your dad always told me it was cheaper to build up than build out. And I was just thinking, I wondered if there was any grant funds available if we put a second story on it and did a community center, or.
We looked at that when we were talking with Williams and Driver, and we put a zero on the end of the number that he first gave
Yeah.
us. We went from $500,000 to 1.2 to 1.3.
It was getting,
And then
it was
the,
getting out of reach.
And then the code, when you go a two-story building, and the code
Mhm.
that you have to follow with fire.
Sprinkling systems, and that we did look at that we did change our approach so the community would be able to utilize it. That's why we left half of the space open. We
Yeah.
thought, what if we wanted to do a community yoga class?
Yeah.
So we left that one side open where there is, 35 foot by 25 foot in there where they can actually get a classroom full of 15 local community people, and they could lay their mats out and utilize the space. So we have tried to design it to do both because we would like the community to utilize it.
Well, yeah, I was just wondering if there might be grant funding if we included something.
There is grant funding. I forget who I just actually sent it to Tony just last week, that there is some grant funding out there.
We are going to be writing several different grants, but one of the grants that they talked to me about, which is Parkersburg Improvement Foundation. Yeah, they have a grant out that's up to $20,000. So that grant is due in the spring. So we'll be trying to write that grant for that process. And they've recently donated to much similar projects. Ravenswood just got the same grant for those same types of things. So we're hoping that we can hit some grant funding. We can put some local funds here with it, and we can raise some funds and make it a reality.
So, I guess, how are we proceeding? Are we raising money first and then building it? Are we?
Yes.
We definitely have to raise a certain portion of the money before we start construction. We just want to start raising money.
All right.
We want to start going out to businesses and talking with them and seeing what our local folks would do to see what we have to do to meet our goal.
So you just need a motion to do that, basically.
And
Yeah.
I would say this too. I retired from a place that just built a facility that's similar to this, and it did not have any county money, Board of Education money in it. It was community generated. And it does make a difference, and every kid there, when school's out, is allowed to use the facility. And it makes a big difference in student behavior, academic performance, and other which way, health-wise, instead of being the gamers that were in there doing something. It has tremendous health benefits. It is expensive, but
Well, I mean, I think the community will definitely support it. It's just a matter of how
Yeah.
much the community can afford.
Right.
Yeah, how much,
Yeah.
but we didn't make the facility worth millions of dollars. This
Right.
is something that is doable.
We tried to go as basic, like just, block wood
Mhm.
trusses. And, we're hoping that eventually, we'll partner with a business, whether they be local or, out of county, that'll maybe donate some of the building
Yeah.
materials,
So this is
concrete
our,
blocks.
this is our website. And if you want, and anybody from the public, you can log on to our school website, and there's a button on there that you can read about the bolt, and you can become a partner, and you can see the actual facility, what it's going to look like. And then it also has our payment information to where you can donate from our website. This will also be shared out. We've got several different ways that we're going to share the social media aspect of what we see every day on social media, putting that out there, and hopefully, getting some people to start donating like that, maybe drumming up some support from local businesses, getting them excited about it. So we have a web page. We plan to, start this process at games, putting flyers up, doing this presentation, a similar presentation to local businesses to try to get some support that way, and then the grant writing process. So what I would recommend and what I would like to see is a motion to move forward with the fundraising campaign and working with local businesses and community partners to raise the funds for the new health and wellness facility at Gilmer County High School.
So moved.
Is there a second?
second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to accept the superintendent's recommendation to move forward with the fundraising campaign, working with local businesses and community partners to raise the funds for the new health and wellness facility for Gilmer County Schools called the Bolt. Is there any further discussion or amendment or amendments to that main motion? She can't talk.
No, another thing that we talked about though in raising money is Gilmer County High School really doesn't have an alumni program of any kind. And maybe we could coincide with that. And, I hate to hit up alumnus, but that's what alumni are for. That's who gives money back to their schools places that got their education. So,
There's some added benefits. We might, generate an alumni process from this too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that would be a good thing.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All righty. We don't have any old business, so that'll take us into personnel. Dr. Minnie.
Okay, personnel recommendations, professional, Taylor Scott, substitute teacher.
Make a motion to approve the professional section of the personnel agenda.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the professional section of the personnel agenda. Any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. On to service.
Service recommendations, Chelsea Jenkins, special education transportation aide, Gilmer County High School.
Make a motion to approve the service portion of the personnel agenda.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the service portion of the personnel agenda. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. On to extracurricular.
Extracurricular, recommendations, Chelsea Stickleman, auxiliary elementary basketball coach, 2nd and 3rd grade. Aaron Leal, auxiliary elementary basketball coach, 4th, 5th grade. Larry Gwynn, head varsity boys track coach. Ben Huffman, head varsity girls track coach.
Make a motion to approve the extracurricular portion of the personnel agenda.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the extracurricular portion of the personnel agenda. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion?
No, anybody that can't see, there is still another auxiliary elementary basketball coach for 2nd and 3rd grade that's needed. Somebody wants to come and help out. Anybody listening?
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. 1, 2, 3-step payroll increase for math and special ed teachers.
This is recommendation Crystal Conrad for math, GCHS.
Make a motion to approve the 3-step payroll increase for math and special ed teachers.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the 3-step payroll increase for math and special ed teachers. Is there any further discussion or amendment to that main motion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All righty, on to permission to post.
Permission to post auxiliary mini Titan baseball coach, auxiliary varsity baseball coach, 2 positions.
So,
Second.
Okay. All right. It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the permission to post section of the personnel agenda. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. I think that's done on personnel. Yes. So that will move us down to continuous improvement, and we'll start with a discipline report from the principals. And I don't care who goes first. Looks like we're gonna have Mr. Price.
Mr. Fox had, on track to graduate.
hello.
Good evening, sir.
How are you?
I'm good.
You'll just take one and pass one down, please.
Not a problem.
So it sort of seemed like the last presentation for discipline, I think the information that we provided was what you guys were looking to be updated on. So you'll find updated reports of the same nature this time. Page 1 that we're looking at here on the front page, at the top it says our discipline referrals decreasing week over week. You can see that last week being the 12th week of school, I call this the heat map. And the darker the color, the hotter the week. And you can see that we had more discipline referrals last week than at any point in our year. So that tells us that, and actually you can see
Flip-flopped.
historically that has been the case, in years past as well.
Leading up to Christmas.
A bit of restlessness, the reputation in schools that things can be tough right before Christmas break. That's kind of the proof in that. That just goes to show you that is the case. But we have had an increase in some student behaviors, and also as a result, an increase in disciplinary measures that have been taking place at the school as well. So
But it looks like they've been doing better leading up to that.
Very much so.
Mhm.
Very much so, and even so much that, even when I would call it a hot week with 12, if you look historically, you know, that's not really out of line with
Yeah.
what we normally see. This time last year, that week before Christmas break, we had, or 2 weeks before, it was 15. So. All right, on the second page, this is just an updated list of the types of referrals that we're seeing come through Weavis. That can come through a variety of either teachers, any support professional personnel can put in a discipline referral, or this could also be an administrator, an assistant principal, or myself can enter these into the system here. But as we just work our way down, we start with our most high level, and we have not had a level 4 this year, and we hope that we don't, because those are big deals. We have had some level 3 incidents here that you can see as we go through there, and this also shows you how those compare to years past. I believe I mentioned the last time that I was here that you will see disruptive, disrespectful conduct in a couple of different areas. You're going to see that in level 2 and in level 1. And that just depends on the nature of the behavior. So that 37 there, that actually encompasses all of those for whatever reason. I think that's actually a change in Weavis this past year. They've actually been able to separate those two. Moving down to level 2s, those are going to be the most common types of behaviors that you see in an elementary school. Those are our less disruptive behaviors, disruptive, disrespectful conduct, those types of things. Habitual violation of school rules, that's a number that tends to climb throughout the school year, because as we exhaust different behavior interventions, we begin to start coding behavior issues as habitual violation of school rules. Habitual doesn't mean the first, second, or even really, those first couple of times. But as we start to have bigger issues, you're going to see that number grow as we get towards through the school year. Have had a couple physical fights, one single technology misuse, some inappropriate language. We've had one of those. We have had a cheating. Now we're down to level 1. We have had a cheating incident, some inappropriate language there. There is a difference between, profane language and inappropriate language, so we can make a distinction between the two of those. And then we also have 6 involved as non-offender or targets of incidents. So if we have a student that's, let's say, a victim of a bullying incident, or that may be hit by another student, or is in any way the target of an incident, we have to document that. So that if we have further issues, we can refer back to that and see a trend or if we've handled it correctly. That said, do you guys have any questions about this?
No.
Okay. I thought this was an interesting report on page 3 that I've got for you here. This is which students are having repeated incidents for this current school year. And so on the left here, we have the number of students as we go up, and then if we go across here to the right, that's the number of repeated incidents. So we have 7 students within the school have 2 discipline referrals. 4 students within the school have 3 discipline referrals. 2 students have 4 discipline referrals. 2 students have 6 discipline referrals, and 1 student has 7 discipline referrals. And I believe that number may be 8 now, actually, but I thought that was interesting.
At what point on that do you look at like the alternative learning? Is it based more on severity or based more on repetitiveness? Or both?
It could be both. It could be both. And typically by that point we had, and it's kind of like in this situation, and I don't want to identify any particular students or anything like that, looking at right now a longer in-school suspension type of thing.
How many of those students have been put through or are in the SAT process?
I would say, just looking at this, I know that 6 and 7 would be, if the students have those 6 and 7 discipline referrals, I know that they are in a SAT. I know that the highest offending is for sure.
Okay.
Okay, page 4 here, and this is the staple packet that I've got here. This just outlines those different behavior codes that we see primarily through the school. Disruptive, disrespectful conduct, or disrespectful, inappropriate conduct. That is the largest section that we have. Failure to obey rules and authority. That is a sort of a growing number. If we have an insubordination incident with a student, that is going to fall into that. We've had a few of those. Aggressive conduct tends to be a smaller category, but it also does include things like bullying. And then non-offender. I don't know why those numbers don't seem to match with the last 2 reports again. So I'm not real sure why those.
It looks to me like we're getting better control of hallways and bathrooms, and because classroom is by far where kids spend most of their time, so you would expect that.
When you say disrespectful and inappropriate conduct, just for clarification, because just exactly what are we talking about there?
Well, that's a pretty big umbrella.
That's why, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually, I would say, Mr. Martin, that's the biggest umbrella in policy 4373. That when we have conversations with a teacher, I'll give you an example. I have a teacher that comes down and they describe the behavior and they say, hey, I know I need to write this up. Where does this fit in the discipline system? I'll say, hey, let's look at that together. We'll bring it up. Honestly, I would say 9 times out of 10, it falls under that umbrella.
Right, but I'm like, for instance, disrespectful normally is aimed at an instructor, for me at least, I put it that way. So that's why I'm asking inappropriate conduct. I didn't have my homework. That could be put me there.
Exactly, like 2 students talking and you tell them not to.
Right, so that's why, that kind of thing. For me, there was a big difference between me being disrespectful to you and me talking in class or not having my homework or didn't have something.
It can be a bit, this is where these reports don't always jive with the behavior codes in WEBUS.
Right.
Because it does say disruptive or disrespectful conduct. So you've got a student in the back who's just being kind of loud or, just being disruptive to the learning environment. That reports the same way as a student that's being disrespectful to a teacher.
Right, I understand that.
Yeah.
I like the green code a lot better and understood it. That's why I'm asking questions. It doesn't.
Yes, sir. Okay, and as far as the location is concerned, you guys can see there, this breaks these down by what kind of behaviors we're seeing in different areas. I won't read all of that to you, but you guys can peruse that information.
Looks like we're making progress.
I feel
Yeah.
like we are. Yes.
Looking good.
I do
Yeah.
feel that way. And on this last report here, average length of suspensions, I thought this was an interesting report to show. I do think that there is some lag with this because I believe that in-school number should be higher than that. And when I ran that today and I looked at the amount of days that I've had students in in-school suspension, I would want to double check it. I'll be upfront with you guys. I printed this off at 10:36 this morning to try to have it up to date, but I didn't feel like that was accurate because I think that we do have more in-school suspensions being issued. And I am a proponent of in-school suspension. If we have a student that has a behavior issue, if we can still provide them with an education, but not disrupt the learning environment in a regular classroom, we have a wonderful situation here, I think, with the ALC and the way that we can do ISS that we do, I'd be kind of silly not to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Do you think it's higher than the 2023-24 number there?
For in-school suspension?
Yeah.
I do.
Okay.
Yep, I do.
Because
I don't
we're
think out of school,
utilizing
I
that
think, yeah,
more.
Out of school, I think, yeah, I'm just saying the feeling, we don't feel data, it is what it is, you know what I mean? But
Sure.
I do have a feeling that out of school suspension is pretty close to that, but that in school, I feel like that number's higher
Because we're utilizing that more. We have that accessibility now to still provide an education while putting the child away from other kids.
Well, thank you, sir. This
Yep.
makes a lot different to be able to look at something and appreciate it.
Yeah, and I appreciate you guys, and I want to thank you guys for the support. And if there are things like this, I am happy to continue to give you guys discipline updates or whatever kind of updates you like. But if you've got questions about things, if I give you these and you're like, hey, next time you do this, if you have a specific question or would like to have something included, I'm happy to do that. So just let me know.
Thanks, bunch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think that you can take a look at the first weeks and tell that
Mhm.
the matrix and the different things we've utilized with the ALC this year have made it.
Made a big
Pretty-
difference.
Well,
Pretty
and
good,
the
sizable
ALC is really a
difference.
blessing. I mean, I don't know how much people really, that aren't involved on a daily basis with their kids and how much people really appreciate that. But the ALC has
It
been a
is.
game changer in this county.
Mr. Fox, you're up.
I will let you pass these down as well.
I'll charge you for this.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are getting those, I'll just kind of get started, just for the fact these are similar reports. As you go through this, on the first report is weekly moving forward here. As you glance here, the biggest thing is where we were week to week from the previous years. When I start looking at these last couple of weeks, it's been really good. And that's not me, that's our staff and our students. They are working hard. And when you get up those, those hallways and you see the kids getting after it, I'm very proud of those individuals and that staff. So they are working extremely hard and getting focused on that education piece. On the second, same similar reports here. On the second report, we go through starting in 2021 all the way to 25 and just comparing each incident and the amount of incidents for each area from level 4 all the way down to level 1. I know this is going what Mr. Bryce was discussing, but that disruptive, disrespectful conduct is that highest number here as well. And that is sitting here at that 88 number, which is once again, that seems like a high number, but I'm very big on comparing and looking at those numbers when you look in the last couple of years here. This group of students are working really, really hard right now, and they're doing some great things. Any questions at all?
I'd like to highlight something there because this is something I felt like we're doing a really good job at this year. If you look at physical fights without injury, last year was 53, this year 7. That's a major reduction.
Yeah, that's,
So that's something I can commend them. People are working very hard to make sure the kids are safe and they're not, we've added a little stiffer penalty, which makes it makes a big difference.
Next report is similar report, repeated incidents. Mr. Price had the same report here. We start looking at the number of students for the repeated incidents here. And you start looking, there are 20 students who've had 2. You're working your way down. We do have very few students who those things are starting to mount up on a little bit here. And really focusing on those tiered interventions that we're providing in our county right now, whether it's through the SAP process. Some of these students have IEPs. And I know this ALC has been a great thing, but for in-school suspensions as well, this is an opportunity to keep us, to allow students to be in school and to keep moving forward. That. So we're focused in on those interventions here before we have to get too far into.
How many of yours are involved in this big number down here in the SAT process, or?
I can tell you from the 6 through the 11 right here, when we talk about the 1, 1, 2, 1 here, are all either in the SAT or they have an IEP.
Okay.
Next report, this is the same thing, going through each area of the school, whether it's classrooms, hallways, breezeways, gymnasium. These are just the number of incidents and all those. And as we go through here, the disrespectful, inappropriate conduct is going to be the highest on each of those areas. And once again, looking on the previous report, that's the highest within the county or within our school as well. Questions at all on that report?
no, again, it looks like, getting the bathroom and hallway under control.
We're really trying to focus this month. We've done activities in our cold meeting to really focus on core instruction, direct instruction, and really getting back to the engagement in the classroom to try to prevent when there's a lot of downtime, when there's a lot of transition time, fluff, things happening, the computers are out, the things going on, people act out. So what we've talked about then is what did core instruction look like? What does, some of our main focus will be on improving that core instruction and making sure that we have folks providing direct instruction, standards-based instruction, using our APL strategies that we've trained on. And we believe, if I'm correct, Mr. Fox, that'll make a difference. You've done those activities as well with your leadership team. And we're going to go into January really focusing our walkthroughs on that.
Last report is just the average suspension days, whether it's in school or out of school. Now, the more you become more progressive and you move forward with it, if it's repeated, then those days may come up. And also it changes with the use of the in-school as well. So those days can change, but as of right now, the amount of those are actually down from last year as well, which, that's for the 24-25 as opposed to the last year. They're up, actually, I'm sorry. So, that's a lot of that is the use of that in school and having the opportunity for that in-school suspension. And once we have these progressive, disciplines and
Yeah, they don't like that.
and behaviors that are becoming disruptive, that we need education to continue, and there's a way to continue that. And
Once they figure out they don't get the vacation anymore, you still have to go to school, make it unpleasant.
And your tiered interventions, is that kind of the same process for both school? I mean, I'm assuming that's tiered 1, 2, 3, 4 or something like that at both areas. Because my question, I guess, is when you look like, say that one kid has 11, so not suspensions, but offenses in there. Last year we had a case where a kid went to 20 some suspensions. To me, I'm like, why didn't we stop this way back here at like 10 if we have all these interventions? And to me, 11, you're getting on the borderline now. Are the interventions working, I guess, when you see 11 offenses in the system?
Yeah, and a lot of these things where I'm coming into the situation here, there are a lot of these things already in place as I'm going, like I said, SATs. These, a lot of times if you get to it's an IEP and it's an FEA or a behavior plan put in place, these things, we're moving forward with those. I am seeing these things, a lot of these are just with the PBIS, our school-wide PBIS that we are implementing right now at the middle school level and getting a lot of that. We just had an individual come to sit down with our staff 2 weeks ago and really start to push forward that. I can see a huge impact that's going to make with us move forward as well. And just, from top to bottom school-wide, these are expectations.
And we do have some of those students placed in the ALC.
Okay.
So they've earned their, they've kind of worked their way in there with the.
Well,
being
that's what it's
disruptive.
for.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I will say too, if you're particularly in middle school or higher, and I hate to be sexist and say a boy, because girls are getting kind of the same way now. If I'm a poor reader or I'm poor in math, I'll act out before I get embarrassed. So I know we talked earlier about doing, checking and making sure reading levels were, I won't say grade level, but at least they were functional enough that the person could survive and move forward. So they're not a behavioral problem. And like I said, with the disruptions, I know your hands are tied with both of you with Weavis as to what the green light was a whole lot better because I could break them out and I knew which was which. But it's kind of hard if is it actually being disrespectful to your staff, which is a
Bigger deal, but
yeah.
there's no way to
is.
differentiate
Right.
now.
I don't know if there was a code or something you could put with it that would kick that out or not. I'm just asking.
The good news is, and when we relay this information to parents with those phone calls and when it goes into Weavis, that we be specific
Right.
with the actions there, which is tough because you can't pull it on that piece. But,
Yes.
to make sure that we've put the right information in there, we're specific with it. So 2 years from now, if we need to pull that we could at least see
Right.
that.
I think communication to the house is probably the most important thing. That way they are full aware of, this is where we're at and this is the next step. So that makes your all's life in the long run a whole lot easier. But appreciate
Yep, thank you.
the
Yeah,
work.
thank
It
you.
is,
He's
I
got
think
on
it's
track
made
to
a difference.
graduate. I think, yeah, you got another piece, don't you?
Go ahead.
You're right
Not allowed to
ahead.
go yet.
Yep,
Hey,
you're right
just
ahead.
wanting just wanting to focus on this senior class coming through here. You can pass these down.
Boy, you're gonna owe me big time. That's 2 bills you're getting.
I know, right?
Thumbs don't
And
wanna
it's
work.
just looking at our students in the fall, our fall at the start of the fall 2024, moving forward here, really focused in on these students. And going, start to get into fall, all students were currently enrolled in courses that will ensure that they remain on track for graduation for this year, meaning they're enrolled in their courses. Now, there is a part of this that it comes down to them completing this, and it's part of our job to move to the next piece, which is to date, teachers, and, when I say office staff, our counselors, administration, we've identified 7 students are at risk. When I say 7 students at risk, that means that we're getting feedback from teachers. Our counselors do a great job of sending information out to our teachers. Hey, talk to us. Do you have any concerns? We do this, they send us back, and actually that's taking place. And we were able to meet with these students, touch base with them, see where they are, discuss moving forward. And then, we just continuously monitor these, whether it's through SACs, parent contacts, and so on. And of course, we'll have a better idea. We're right here at the end of the semester. So moving forward in about 3 weeks, we'll really, or 4 weeks, we'll have a really good idea where we are moving into the second semester.
Thank you.
Sounds
Any
good. Thank you very
any
much.
questions? No? Good? Thank-
One, if out of these 7, for instance, let's say a couple of them are deficient in class per semester, what's the plan what can we do with them?
Credit recovery.
So we have the credit recovery, and these are the options that we start. As we look at these 7 students right now, we're talking with these students, bringing them in. Hey, is this as simple as, and there's multiple ways of looking at this. Is this just, we have turned something in so we really want to sit down with these students. If it's the point where we need to get to credit recovery, we want to get in the
Right.
process with this. I know the old retention date, I think, is February, the 1st of February, that you want to notify. We want these parents notified. We want to make sure that we're doing this as soon as possible to move forward with it.
Good deal.
How does this compare to prior years or like? Oops.
I don't know.
So last year, and I believe we graduated, and it was 90, and I don't want to say it with that, but I was just looking at that. I wish I would have, and I will in the future if you guys need me to come back and report on this.
Yeah, there's usually about 5 or 6 at least that are, got a failing at least one class or maybe borderline on one class that they need to graduate.
All righty. Thank you, Mr.
Yeah,
Fox.
thank
You're
you.
good to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All righty, that'll move us into the superintendent's update. Dr. Minnie, you have the floor.
Well, I just want to wish everybody Merry Christmas. I want to say I hope everybody has a good Christmas holiday season. I want to make sure the community knows about Bolt and that we will be doing press releases and so on and so forth about that. We've put a lot of work into that process for the last 6 months. We've had several ad hoc meetings and worked with lots of different teams of people to try to get to this point. So hopefully we can get the community fired up about that. I will be doing with Mr. Fox some of those basketball games on Huddle. And I wanted to just tell everybody out there that if they want some good entertainment and not the best broadcasting, but some good entertainment, to watch those games. And I'm also going to be plugging those things like Bolt, our students, our top Titans, accomplishments. And we're trying to get some of our local student guests on that broadcast. And we've already had a couple, actually, one former student and 2 current students on there helping us broadcast. And I believe that the community, I've gotten really positive feedback about that from the community. So I just want to let everybody know that that's out there. We've wrapped up, pretty much a semester. And I want to say thank you to all the administrators and central office administrators, because we've really pushed forward and are really focusing on academics. And in the second semester, one of the things that I would like to do, and I've been doing this every Colts meeting, is we provide 10 minutes worth of updates and try to shut up. And then we get to education, because you can get rambling about all the going ons and what you need to do. And we've been focused on that for the last several meetings, and it's good conversation to have, and it's good conversation. And hopefully we can take those things like we find out, like we need your support with core instruction. And we can communicate that to you guys. We can communicate it to the teachers, and then we can all be, rowing the same boat, the same direction. And I think that that's been happening. So, some of the things that we just learned about at our school administrators conference that I would like to focus on from here on out is building relationships. I want to build relationships with students, specifically at the secondary level. I think Mr. Fox does a great job at that, and letting our students have some pride in their school, building relationships with their teachers. And that would be one of my hopes and dreams for the next semester, is getting those students really fired up to be there. Our attendance data, I'm going to have a report on attendance when we get back in. I probably should have done it right before the Christmas holiday. It looked better. But when we come back from January, I'm going to highlight some of our attendance data. I had a little meeting with Ms. Busby at the elementary school today. Our attendance data is starting to really look good. We've made some really good gains this year with attendance, and we made good gains last year. We had 8 or 9% growth last year. We're on track to do the same pace this year. So very happy with attendance, very happy with discipline. And I suspect when those two things are going well, the outcomes with our students are also going to go well. More time in class and more time engaged. So just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and we'll come back in January and get more reports on some of those specific items.
All righty, that'll move us into board member comments, and we'll start with Mr. Chapman.
Merry Christmas to everybody. We're coming up on our halfway point of the year, and everything's looking up and good, and keep the momentum going. With the Bolt project, I'm just really excited to get that out now. I've been pushing Dr. Minnie so many times. I've tried to have this meeting. I don't know how many times he said, wait, let's get it all together. And I'm glad we waited. It's very professional. It looks really good. I want to thank Dr. Minnie. I want to thank Mr. Oh man, I just had his name.
From where?
Huh?
From where?
Up at the high school itself, put the project together. They did the logo. So
Mr. Buckley. Yeah,
Mr. Buckley.
Mr.
There it
Buckley.
was. I want to thank Mr. Buckley. I've thanked him on Facebook, but I want to give him. Mr. Buckley has had a big part in this as well and helped us with a lot of the stuff. And then there's some other people that have came to our ad hoc committees. Mr. Barton on the board here has been a big help as well, helping pushing it forward. And I just like to say I'm just really excited to see what it turns into. It may take a year, it may take 3 years, but I think when it gets here, it won't be soon enough. So.
All right. Merry Christmas, everyone, on to Dr. Miller.
I just want to thank everybody for all the hard work and all the improvements we're seeing. It's never been a short-term plan. I always think in long-term, and we're starting to reap some of the benefits from everything that we put in play a year ago. We're starting to really see the improvements from that, and it's very encouraging. Christmas is my favorite time of the year, so I hope everyone has a happy holiday. And I just wanted to remind students and parents of our partnership with Glenville State University and getting the college credits while you're still in high school. It can potentially cut a year off of your college education, which is lots of dollar signs. If you were to go to college locally and get the Promise Scholarship and be able to graduate in 3 years, that's significant money savings for everyone. So everybody have a happy holiday and enjoy your time off.
Mr. Fresher.
No real comment for me. Merry Christmas. Have a happy New Year.
New baby soon. What's the due date?
The February 1st.
Getting there. Mr. Barton.
I too would like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I would like to thank all the staff and faculty and parents and students for their hard work, because there's been some significant changes in behavior of what was expected. you expect a lot, you get a lot. You expect a little, you get a whole lot less. And our expectations, they've come up, and I think everybody involved is trying to meet that level. And Rome wasn't built in a day, although I'm an impatient human being. I want it done in a day, but it does take a while. And, you know, we deal a lot with athletics, we deal with academics, you know, and teaching kids skills, a lot like teaching them math. You know, you teach them the wrong way to do it, and they learn a bad habit, and it takes forever to correct it. So with these elementary coaches that we just hired and the others that are there, I hope they get with the high school and junior high people and decide what kind of drills and skills that they need to be teaching and do that. Saturday, people got to see a clinic on skills. I didn't like the outcome, but they saw what basketball skills are all about. And I think that the Bolt has a great opportunity, not just for our athletes, it's a great opportunity for all of our students. You're mentally stronger when you're physically stronger. But again, I like to thank everybody for all the hard work that everyone has put in. And Merry Christmas.
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second? It's been properly moved and seconded. We adjourn the meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Right there.
We all have to sign this. We can have it, right?
You got it. I do. Hold on just a second, Ginger.
Well, Merry Christmas to all. Have a good one. Yes, ma'am.
Or at least want to know, or at least want to know.
Christmas.
Bryce,
Here.
yeah, I would like that. I guess. Oh, they just
Signed it.
Everybody signing it? Yeah.
Brett signed it.
Good, good.
Somebody didn't.
It's a nice drive. It's nice. It's comfortable. We're moving, we got a whole garage full, but it's gonna take a while, but we're moved in and we're comfortable for the time being. And we're gonna have Christmas and everything's coming back to normal.
So
We still got one.
when in
thing to
January,
sell,
you know?
so we gotta-
I don't. I'm gonna, now that this has happened, now I
Yeah, ready.
Gotcha.
We need to
Yes,
grind
I-
them all
I
to list
understood.
the other one, try
We
to
need
sell
to
them.
call, I need him
It's-
to make
it's-
the
it's
call. I
very
need to drop
nice.
the
I got
the buzz, and then I need him to make the call.
He helped me
Right.
out a lot.
And we need our kids to fix and
I'm in my third year.
Take out. We need to take out. like,
Third year driving, yeah, I'm the third year in a year, so
When we go
it's
there,
kind of amazing, but it
we
goes
can't
back
have
quick.
all this,
No,
all this sponsorship.
Good.
no.
We gotta take all that.
That's gotta, all we want the kids saying, this is what we'll do for us.
Yeah,
This is what we got.
yeah.
This is what
We need your help.
Yeah, this is what
We
we
need
got.
your help.
This is what we got. And this is what our opposition has.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's what I would like to see.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but it's a big move and it was. What are you still doing? I'm trying to get out of here.
I know,
You don't know where everything's at.
What is it?
Well, they do.
We're gonna have a play, we have a music and,